Arthur is a rich, lonely loser whose life is threatened by his enemies. But everything changes when he hires a robot girl to protect him without realizing that she's actually human, and he starts falling in love with her. The tale begins with the heir of a big conglomerate, Arthur, receiving his butler in his office. The butler shows up with a pink-haired girl, whom he says is a robot named Marie. Apparently, after several trials, they were able to finally create a real robot that Arthur has been asking for. Arthur is impressed to see this, and he is even more blown away by how real the robot is. Even with how real the robot looks, Arthur deduces that he has to take a closer look before he makes his conclusion. Suddenly, the clock in the room explodes, leaving a cloud of smoke. Arthur's assistant rushes over to check on him, but thankfully, he didn't sustain any injury. Arthur is scanning the room to know what happens when something great catches his eye. He realizes that Marie didn't flinch or even make a move during the course of the explosion. Arthur is completely blown away, but just as he is about to start saying what he feels, he spots the cleaner walking past. He stops her because the cleaner was the one who swapped the clock. The guards waste no time grabbing her and dragging her, while she begs, telling them that she was told to do it. Arthur dives into Professor X's abilities to start pointing to assassins that have been stationed around to terminate him. Arthur's guards swoop into action and start subduing all of the assassins. Momentarily, a flower is sent to Arthur, but even this has a knife concealed in it, just to make sure that Arthur dies. This is the reason Arthur hates humans, because he believes that they are greedy and will hurt others for their own desires. To avoid dealing with humans is why he trusts inorganic items. Basically, Arthur is resented by everyone in the family because he is an illegitimate child who ended up becoming the heir. The hatred is the reason why his life is in constant danger. Marie remains standing in the room, and Arthur frantically talks about how much he hates liars and would do anything to wipe them out. Unknown to him, Marie is not actually a robot, but a girl who was a martial arts prodigy. Her parents' debts were paid off, which is why she took on the risky job of pretending to be a robot maid. Just then, Arthur asks to be alone with a maid, and this scares Marie because she fears that no matter how inhumane she appears to be, Arthur is going to see through her. Arthur walks up to her, and her life flashes before her eyes because she is dead meat if Arthur finds out. However, she remains stiff enough to convince Arthur that she is actually a real robot maid. Arthur's personality immediately changes as he starts dancing like a kid because he finally has what he has been looking for. The next day, the butler, who is the only one aware of Marie's real identity, tells Marie that she needs to start escorting the young master to the academy because his life is in danger. Marie hungrily munches on the sandwich being prepared by the butler because she doesn't get to eat until Arthur is in the bathroom. She eats all of her portion and ends up running off with the butler's sandwich like a hungry raccoon. The butler hopes that Marie will stay safe because they are so dead if Arthur finds out that Marie is what he hates the most. When it is time for school, the driver ends up coming late by just under a second, but he receives a good scolding from the young master. On their way to school, Arthur tells Marie about his schedule, and he begs her to act like a human so that she can escort him to school. Marie agrees to this, and while she is alone, she unintentionally runs into two dudes, and she immediately apologizes. However, the two don't think of accepting the apology immediately as they start trash-talking Marie about how she looks like a robot. Marie is not pissed about it, since she has been hearing this since she was a child. Her mother was always scolding her for being an emotionless child, and Marie is in the middle of the standoff when Arthur shows up. The two dudes see Arthur and waste no time running off. Marie thanks Arthur for the assist, and he pats her on the head, telling her that he finds his emotionless face very cute. Marie manages to conceal how happy she is about this remark because it is basically the first time she has received such. Later that day, Arthur holds a meeting with his brother, Maynard. Arthur and Maynard exchange nice greetings on the surface, but deep down, they are hurling curses at each other. Maynard wants Arthur to just disappear so he can be the heir instead, and it turns out that he is part of those who have been sending assassins after Arthur. Marie can easily deduce the telepathic conversation between the two, and she concludes that the two are very close, even though Maynard is always looking for ways to send Arthur to the afterlife. Maynard claims he wants to use the bathroom, and once he leaves the room, he starts venting his frustration about how he has failed to eliminate his brother. Unknown to him, Marie is standing behind him, and Maynard almost craps his underwear when Marie reveals her presence. Maynard asks her who she is, and she simply reveals that she is a robot maid. Maynard moves closer to confirm, and just like Arthur, he believes that Marie is inhumane. Marie then tells Maynard that she can do some humane things, like smiling. She gives Maynard a demonstration by smiling like a horror figure, scaring the dude away. Later on, Marie enters Arthur's room only to be hit with a special request from Arthur. He asks to lie on her lap, and she agrees to this. While lying on her lap, he reveals his intention to get stronger because he has no one and everyone else is against him. Surprisingly, Marie assures him that he can count on her. She lets him know that no matter what happens, she is going to remain his companion. Arthur's face lights up in hope and relief when he hears this. He thanks Marie for the assurance, and he sleeps off on the girl's lap. Basically, Marie has grown close to Arthur, and she aims to protect him just the way he protected her. However, she is still stuck with lying to him. Some days later, Arthur prepares to attend a lecture slated for 2 hours in the evening. Momentarily, the cab to take him to the event arrives. Without hesitation, Arthur steps into the car, and it drives off, but Marie remains at home. Literally seconds after the first car left, another car shows up, with the driver saying he is there to pick Arthur up. The butler panics when he sees this, but when he turns around, Marie has disappeared. Marie has sensed that something is wrong and is chasing after the car just like a regular robot would. It turns out that Maynard is behind Arthur's kidnapping and Arthur has been restrained in the car. Maynard laughs, saying he finally lost his cool because of Arthur's annoying maid. Maynard tells Arthur that he should have been careful when picking his maid, and that he will get another chance because he is about to terminate him. Suddenly, Marie appears on top of the car, and she calmly tells Arthur that she has come to retrieve him. Maynard panics, and he tells the driver to step on the gas because Marie is a robot. The driver turns the car left and right as fast as he can just to get Marie off, and he succeeds in doing this. Marie jumps off the car but doesn't stop her chase. Momentarily, Arthur finds himself in a warehouse, where Maynard plans to finish him off. Even though he is about to die, Arthur is still worried about Marie. Maynard laughs hysterically because he is pretty sure that Marie was torn to shreds when she was shaken off the car. Arthur lets Maynard know that he is never going to forgive him for wishing harm on Marie, but Maynard mocks him for acting all cool with the robot. Maynard is enjoying the moment until he suddenly hears his voice playing in the background. This is a recording of him threatening to terminate Arthur. This catches his attention, and he orders his men to search Arthur's belongings. They find a phone in his pocket, shocking Maynard. He asks Arthur when he recorded the conversation, and Arthur reveals the surveillance device attached to his suit. Arthur lets him know that the file has been uploaded to the cloud, and he reminds him of what would happen if the video were released. Maynard automatically decides to pull out, and he runs out of the warehouse, claiming that he is stepping out to check something, leaving his subordinates with Arthur. The two are preparing to terminate Arthur when Marie shows up in the room to swiftly dispatch the assassins. The two manage to escape from the warehouse with their lives, but are forced to run since the car is gone. Marie releases Arthur from his restraints, but before they can start celebrating, the gasoline that was poured on the floor during the tussle with the assassins catches fire thanks to a cigarette remnant. This leaves the two trapped, but Marie starts looking for a passageway because Arthur is running out of breath. She finds an outlet close to the roof, and she tells Arthur that she is going to help him up, but she won't be able to escape. Arthur doesn't want Marie to sacrifice herself for him, but realizing that she might die, she finally decides to tell Arthur how she truly feels. Marie lets Arthur know that she is happy whenever she is around Arthur, but then she assures him that she is going to survive the fire because she is a robot. She lets Arthur know that she can always reboot. Having heard this, Arthur allows Marie to push him out of the building, while she remains trapped inside. Marie eventually passes out because of the smoke, but when she wakes up, she finds herself in the manor with Arthur beside her. It turns out that Arthur called his butler to help save Marie, and he arrived just in time to do so. Suddenly, Arthur tells Marie that he has a question to ask her. Marie and the butler almost fainted when they heard this because they knew the obvious question that he wanted to ask. Surprisingly, Arthur decides to hold back the question and just continues playing along with whether Marie is human or a robot. Up next, Arthur makes arrangements to receive several rich dignitaries at his mansion because he is hosting a garden party. Arthur tells Marie that the party is very important because his father left the hosting to him while he is away on business. Realizing how crucial the party is, Marie assures Arthur that she is going to do everything to remove any suspicious entity that might want to ruin the party. However, Arthur let her know that he had a more important task for her. She asks about the said task, and to her surprise, Arthur wants her to get rid of all the green peppers because he doesn't like them. Momentarily, two family members, Carl and Charlotte, show up at the gathering, and Arthur relates to them very well, leaving Marie confused since she believes that the entire family has a beef with Arthur. However, the butler, Roy, tells her that the two are on Arthur's side. During the conversation, Charlotte tells Arthur that she can clearly see he has something good going because he looks happier. She asks to know about it, and Arthur gladly introduces his aunt to the beautiful robot maid that he just got. Charlotte decides to take a closer look at Marie, and when Marie realizes that the lady is staring at her for too long, she assumes that she's been caught. To prevent the lady from suspecting anything, Roy drags Marie out of there, telling her that it is time for her to do the dishes. Marie shows how strong and capable she is by moving a bulk load of trays at the same time. She also does this with glass cups, just to try and sell the idea that she is a real robot. Charlotte's cat almost breaks the glasses, but Marie easily grabs the cat, thus leaving everyone impressed. While she is also in charge of security, she is walking around getting rid of green pepper just like Arthur wanted. Moments later, Marie finds a strange man trying to infiltrate the house, and she knocks him out with a kick to the head. She figures out that the dude might not be the only intruder, and she decides to scan the mansion for any hidden danger. As she walks through the mansion halls, someone suddenly appears behind her and tries to attack her. But she reacts and subdues the person, only for the person to be her master. She moves him into his chambers, where she allows him to sleep on her lap. Arthur reveals how exhausting it is for him to host the garden party. To make him feel better, she strokes his hair, and suddenly, Arthur gets up to grab her. He moves closer to her body as if he wants to lock lips with her, and then he thanks her. Marie blushes hard, and to prevent herself from being overwhelmed, she stands up to leave, telling Arthur that he is free to return to the party, since he appears to have recovered. Arthur tries to get her to stay with him a bit longer, but she informs Arthur that she has been programmed to attend to more party-related tasks. She leaves the room, and, unknown to her, she is already under suspicion from Charlotte and her annoying cat. Marie returns to the party, not acting like herself because of the short moment she spent with Arthur. She breaks a glass cup while trying to handle it, and even spills water on Roy. Roy is pissed at her clumsiness and tells her to leave the party area. Marie leaves the scene dejectedly and scolds her incompetence, believing that she is essentially going to cause problems for Arthur if she continues the way she is. While walking through the garden maze, she finds an intruder planting a bomb, which is meant to take Arthur out. Without delay, Marie goes after the dude and gives him a nice beat up before collecting the detonator from him and smashing it. Marie doesn't stop there, and she angrily kicks the dude through the garden maze, causing him to fall into the party area. The guests panic at the sight of this, and before Marie realizes it, she has everyone staring at him. The guests scream at her, saying she has gone rogue, while also calling her a menace. Marie crashes to the ground in utter disappointment, believing that she just ruined the party. Just then, Arthur appears behind her and grabs her, while telling the guests not to panic because Marie simply took care of an intruder, trying to blow them to smithereens. The perspective of the guests immediately changes, and they start clapping for her. Charlotte and Carl are most impressed by the amount of trust that Arthur has in his maid. Meanwhile, Maynard is on the roof, cursing at Marie for ultimately ruining his plans to send Arthur 6 feet under. However, he is still determined to continue going after Arthur until he gets rid of him. After the party that night, Marie changes out of her maid's outfit and wears a beautiful dress to meet with Arthur on the balcony. Marie apologizes for ruining the party, but he assures her that she did an impressive job because she even got rid of the green peppers. As their conversation continues, Arthur suddenly asks her what she is running on, and trying not to fumble, she replies that she is running on double A batteries. Arthur, competing to be the most gullible man, ultimately believes her lie. Just then, he drags her closer and pecks her on the forehead. This catches her off guard, and she pushes Arthur away before running into the greenhouse to think about what just happened. She believes that Arthur has figured out that she is human, and while she is panicking, Roy is watching from a safe distance. The next morning, Marie tries to act cool while resuming her duties, but she serves Arthur his food and he greets her, and she finds it difficult to reply. Arthur notices this and gets the urge to ask her if she is human, but he holds this back so he can confirm by making Marie lose her cool. He tries touching her again, but she jumps off to put some distance between them. Arthur is not ready to back down as he continues following Marie everywhere and touching her just to get her reaction. Marie has also figured this out, and she starts trying to avoid Arthur, but he doesn't give her any breathing space. She even tries to put him off by acting like a proper robot, but this doesn't bode well for her. Momentarily, Roy calls Marie into his office and fires her. Marie asks why she is being fired, and Roy reveals that Arthur has been onto her, and if they are not careful, he is going to find out. However, Roy assures her that he is going to take care of everything she needs, but he needs her gone. Marie tries to convince him, but he lets her know that Arthur has grown fond of her, and it will be hard for her to keep the lie going. To properly get rid of her, Arthur has found a replacement for her. He introduces her to a supposed improved robot, which he conveniently names Marie 2. Moments later, Arthur meets Marie 2, and even though she possesses some really lethal equipment at her disposal, he is not entirely impressed. Marie, on the other hand, is sad about leaving, but she has no choice. Marie 2 places Arthur on her lap and tries acting like the original Marie, but almost turns Arthur deaf by blasting loud music in his ears. This further adds to Arthur's disinterest, and when Marie is about to leave, she tells Roy that she is going to return the maid outfit because she can't hold on to what will bring back painful memories for her. Just then, Arthur steps out of the house and reveals his surprise that Marie is being discarded. Arthur lets Marie know that he won't be satisfied with any other maid. Out of nowhere, Marie 2 steps out of the house and deems Marie a threat. A fight breaks out between them, and in the course of the fight, Marie 2 gets the advantage. Just as she is about to finish Marie off, Arthur jumps in and gets hit instead. This pisses Marie off and angrily crushes Marie 2 with a powerful kick, telling her that she is not fit to be a maid protecting Arthur. Arthur then runs over to Marie and he carries her, telling her that he would like her to stay by his side forever. Later on, Marie finds out that Marie 2 has been put together, and she also got an upgrade to her software and hardware. Roy then tells her that she will be working together with Marie 2 to properly protect Arthur. Up next, Marie and Marie 2 work hand in hand to subdue 2 assassins sent by no one else but Maynard. Maynard rages in his office when he realizes that his assassins have failed him yet again. Later on, Marie 2 leaves for a charging session, giving Marie and Arthur the chance to be alone together. Arthur then whips out a double battery, since Marie claimed that this is her source of energy. He urges her to charge herself, and in an attempt to keep the lie going, Marie puts the battery in her mouth. As gullible as ever, Arthur believes that Marie is already charging. Sometime later, Roy tells Arthur to take some time off, since he appears to be stressed out. Arthur uses this suggestion to the best of his knowledge, and he tells Marie to turn on girlfriend mode if there is something like that. Realizing that she has no choice, Marie and Arthur step out together on a date. Marie tries to keep the act by telling Arthur that she loves him to the moon and back. This blows his mind, and he tells her to call him by his name instead of using formalities. Marie agrees to this, and she figures out that she needs to act like regular couples do if she wants to sell the idea that she is truly a girlfriend. Marie spots a couple in the distance and tries to act like them, but she almost breaks Arthur's arm in the process. After this, the two settle down to take ice cream. Marie feeds him ice cream, and when it is Arthur's turn to feed her, he pushes a battery into her mouth. Those who are watching are horrified to see this, and they assume that the two are one crazy humans who need help. Marie and Arthur continue following the innocent couple just to get the idea of how regular couples behave. Arthur then spots some boats parked at the riverside, and he suggests that they go boating, but Marie reminds him that she is a robot. Deep down, she is actually a very bad swimmer, but as usual, Arthur believes that she is going to break down if she enters the water. Arthur almost loses his senses just at the thought of Marie getting shipped away because she broke down. Marie sees the couple giving each other gifts, and in trying to reciprocate this, she grabs a leaf and presents it to Arthur. Instead of getting mad, Arthur actually appreciates the gift, saying it came from her heart, which is the most important thing. The two continue walking through the park, and when Arthur notices that the other couples are holding hands, he asks to hold Marie's hand, too. Marie has no choice but to hold hands with him, but while everyone is happy, Marie is worried that she might never be Arthur's because she is a mere worker, and they are only pretending. That night, the two make their way to the church, and Arthur tells Marie that his parents usually come to the church. Arthur mentions that his parents have loads of memories to remember at the church. Just then, Arthur asks Marie if he can lock lips with her, and this almost sends her into a coma since she was caught off guard. However, she knows that she can't reject the request, since she is currently playing the girlfriend role to Arthur. Just as he is about to peck her on the lips, Marie notices something shining at the top of the church. This helps her to quickly react to the incoming knife attack, and she pushes Arthur out of the way. Marie immediately switches her attention to where the attacker is, and she tells Arthur to stay where he is, while she deals with the attacker. Marie arrives at the rooftop to find the assassin, Noah, waiting for her. A standoff ensues between the two, and Noah asks Marie if she is Arthur's girlfriend, but Marie says no, mentioning that she is nothing but his attendant. Marie runs toward Noah, aiming to hit him, but Noah is pretty slick, and he dodges her attacks easily. Noah then tells Marie that she can only pretend, but he knows the truth. Marie continues going after him, while mentioning that her business with Arthur is none of his business. Just then, Marie hears Arthur's voice, and this distracts her. Noah then uses the opportunity to show what he is capable of by reaching Marie at a really great speed. Once he is behind her, he tells her that everything she is doing with Arthur is his business because he has fallen in love with her. Noah then pushes her off the rooftop, but just before she hits the ground, Arthur catches her. Marie immediately resumes her robot lie, apologizing to Arthur for messing up her girlfriend and bodyguard duty. Arthur doesn't take offense whatsoever, and he even pecks her on the cheek. He then tells her that he is going to peck her properly the next time she enters girlfriend mode. Marie quickly lies, saying the girlfriend mode consumes too much energy, and she can't use it often. This shatters Arthur's heart, and he immediately calls Roy to come and pick them up in the car. In class the next day, Marie is still thinking about Noah when he suddenly enters the class, and he is introduced as the new transfer student. This shocks her to the bones, but unknown to her, Noah is actually working for Maynard. Marie runs out of her class, thinking of warning Arthur before things go south. However, Noah ambushes her on the way, and the two engage in a fight again. This time, Noah easily overwhelms Marie while talking about how much he loves her. Marie immediately realizes that she is dealing with a freaking psychopath. Noah takes things even further when he mentions that he has a present for Marie. Noah whips out every background information that he has on Marie, clearly showing that he knows about her lies. Marie finds herself in a bind, and she is forced to ask Noah what it is that he wants. Noah smiles, saying he only wants them to get along. Suddenly, Arthur arrives on the scene, looking all pissed off, and he demands to know what Noah is doing with his maid. Noah quickly reminds Marie of the pictures and information he has with him. To avoid exposure, Marie lies to Arthur, telling him that she is only trying to be a friend to Noah. This only makes Arthur angrier, and he demands a duel. The condition is that whoever wins gets to keep Marie. Without too much argument, Noah agrees to this. Just then, some of the school scientists are seen chasing down 7 research chickens that got loose. This is when Noah suggests that they round up the chickens, and whoever catches more will be considered the winner of their duel. Arthur agrees to this, and Marie heaves a sigh of relief, believing that Arthur has a chance to win. Arthur swings into action, and thanks to his loving demeanor, he is able to easily grab 3 chickens. Marie asks to help him, but he refuses, saying that he wants to be the one to protect her this time around. Noah, on the other hand, has told his female friends to call him if they spot any chicken. Noah spots 3 chickens, but unlike Arthur, he uses force to grab the chickens. Momentarily, they find themselves standing over the last chicken, which will decide the winner. The chicken then makes a run for it, and Marie realizes that Arthur is going to lose if she doesn't do something to help. Marie then climbs a tree branch to help Arthur spot the chicken, but she falls off in the process, and she crashes into the nearby pond. Arthur has the chance to grab the chicken, but he ignores it and jumps into the water to save his maid, who can't swim. Arthur pulls her out of the water like a knight in shining armor. Even though she appears to be knocked out, Arthur subtly tells her that he needs her. Marie finally opens her eyes, reminding Arthur of his challenge. Just then, Noah shows up with a last chicken in hand, and everyone starts praising him for winning the challenge. However, Noah rejects the crown, saying Arthur actually won because he gave up the fight to save his maid. Later on, Noah falls ill with a cold, and he ends up being the one needing proper care. To care for Arthur's health, Roy shows Marie a briefcase that Arthur's father usually uses whenever he is down with an illness. Marie doesn't check what's inside the briefcase, but when she sees just how critical Arthur's condition is, she decides to check out the contents of the briefcase. Marie is shocked to see what is stuffed inside the briefcase, and she indulges herself in it before heading to Arthur's room. Arthur is blown away when he sees Marie in a nurse's uniform, and he finds it hard to maintain his balance. Marie doesn't hold back on him as she pushes him to the bed, while playing pretend nurse. Marie notices that he is sweating, and she urges him to change his clothes so she can wipe his body. He agrees to this, but Marie meets something shocking when she checks out Arthur's body. There are scars all over his back, and he mentions that he suffered the scars when he was younger. Marie pities his situation and hugs him tightly, and this gesture leaves his brain in reboot mode. Later on, some assassins show up at the estate after getting misinformation that Arthur is about to die. They plan to finish the job, but Marie ambushes them and gives them a thorough beating. One of them tries sneaking in through Arthur's window, but Marie is there just like a ghost to shove him off. Marie then lays Arthur to bed and apologizes for the commotion. However, Arthur thanks her, saying he is glad that he has someone to stay with him. Meanwhile, Noah meets with Maynard in his creepy secret lair. Noah gives Maynard Arthur's phone that he managed to swipe off him. The moment Maynard gets his hand on the phone, he smashes it to make sure that all evidence of him trying to send Arthur to the afterlife is destroyed. Noah then mentions that with the evidence gone, he can go ahead to get rid of Arthur without anything coming back to haunt Maynard. However, being the psychotic creep that he is, Maynard tells Noah to capture Arthur alive because he would like to end him with his own hands. Later on, Arthur's school celebrates their founding anniversary, where they are required to wear whatever weird costume they want. At the party, Marie makes sure to stand guard in her maid outfit. Arthur walks up to her, and in his caring moments, he hands her a bunch of double batteries, saying he wants her to enjoy the party, too. The two have a calm moment until Noah shows up with his ugly face and weird costume. He gets all touchy with Marie, but before Arthur can get angry to beat him up, one of the school officials walks up to Arthur, demanding to see him. At the same time, Noah excuses himself, saying he has to get something to eat. Marie tries to keep an eye on Noah until she realizes that there are a bunch of other students wearing the same ugly Dracula outfit just like Noah. This is when it finally dawns on Marie that Noah is up to something, and she contacts Roy to locate Arthur, using the tracker on his clothes. Meanwhile, the official Arthur is with has led him to Noah because Noah threatened to hurt his family if he didn't do what he wants. Noah appears from behind and pushes an injection with a paralytic substance into his neck. The official runs off, and before Arthur loses all of his body function, he tries fighting back with a taser, but Noah easily knocks him down. Noah is impressed that Arthur can still move even with the substance ravaging his body. To be sure, Noah injects another dose into his body. Marie follows the tracker down to where it stopped, and she almost gets stabbed by Noah, who is lying in wait. She manages to dodge the strike before kicking the knife away from Noah's hand. She admits that after losing to Noah the last time that they fought, she went ahead to retrain herself. Noah is impressed to hear this, and he assures Marie that he is not going to take her lightly. A fierce battle ensues between the two, while Noah tells Marie just how much he would enjoy being with her, since they are both capable fighters. After some minutes of throwing punches at each other, Noah finally knocks Marie down, and he subdues her. Noah starts talking about how much he needs Marie to be with him, while also strangling her. He says Marie will definitely be happy with him, but Marie is literally dying right under him. Even though she is getting choked out, she remains pretty stubborn that she can't be with someone like Noah. Just then, Marie notices that Noah's right hand appears to be weak, and she can use this to her advantage. She slaps Noah's right hand, forcing Noah to unhand her, before she finally makes her move. She runs to the distance and shatters the light bulb with one of the batteries given to him by Arthur. Noah laughs, saying he is more suited to the dark. He throws his rope dart to grab Marie. He pulls her closer, but by the time Marie reaches him, he realizes that it is not the real Marie. It turns out to be Marie too, and before he can make his move, Marie too punches him hard, sending him unconscious into the wall. Marie emerges, commending Marie too for her good work before telling her to take care of Noah. Marie then walks into the back room where Noah stashed Arthur to rescue him. She checks his body to make sure that he didn't suffer any injury. While dragging Arthur out of there, Noah re-emerges, looking like a zombie after he has successfully dispatched of Marie too. However, Noah is too weak to put up a good battle. He resorts to his words, telling Marie that she is only deluding herself because there is no way on earth that she loves Arthur. He claims Marie has never been one to show affection because people always gave her the cold shoulder. Suddenly, Arthur comes back to life, and he covers Marie's ears, telling her not to listen to whatever the dude is saying. Noah is surprised that Arthur is back to life after being injected with the paralytic injection twice. Arthur is partially blind from the effects of the injection, but he is still ready to defend Marie. This lights up Marie's heart, and she jumps toward Noah to finally knock him out. Arthur also passes out completely, and Marie sits with him, confessing her inner and honest feelings to him. Later on in school, Marie thinks she has seen the end of Arthur until he appears in school with a cast on his arm. Marie is startled, but he urges her to calm down because he is temporarily retiring from his assassin duties. However, he tells her that he will always be available in case she needs someone to fall back to. Just like always, Arthur shows up right on time, too. Arthur challenges Noah, saying he heard his voice before going unconscious, but Noah denies this, saying Arthur must have imagined it. After Noah's departure, Arthur tells Marie about the sweet dream that he had while he was out cold, and this is where he heard Marie confessing her feelings to him. Since Marie's feelings have been communicated, it is hopeful that Arthur will communicate his too someday. Some days later, another assassin infiltrates the house, but Marie is there to kick him straight out of the building, earning her praise from Arthur. Arthur, being the genius he is, figures out that there is someone selling off information among those working for him. His stern expression alone is enough to make the culprit fold, and he is dragged away by the guards. Marie, on the other hand, is having difficulties hiding the fact that she is in love with Arthur. To prevent him from seeing her red face, she walks away in a hurry and ends up breaking an important vase. But instead of getting mad at her, Arthur blatantly tells Roy that Marie is more important to her than the vase. Roy is pissed that Marie has been making a series of mistakes recently, and he tells Arthur that Marie will be taken off if it persists. Marie freaks out when she hears this, since her relationship with Arthur will automatically be taken away if she messes up. Marie is sulking about this when Marie 2 shows up, looking brand new. Marie 2 mentions that she has undergone a series of updates, and one of them can tell her that Marie needs help. She assures Marie that she is willing to help her, and Marie immediately pours out her heart to the robot. Marie 2 connects to the internet to find a solution to Marie's problem. Not long after this, Marie heads to Arthur's room with sunglasses to make sure she doesn't look Arthur directly in the face. However, Arthur ruins her plan by taking off her glasses and looking her straight in the eyes. This sends all her love signals shooting off the roof. Marie 2 detects this and intervenes by pushing Marie into Arthur before telling him that removing Marie's sunglasses might lead to an error. Marie is trying to hold in her emotions until Arthur asks if he can rest on her lap. Marie jumps off the couch, and Marie 2 tells Arthur to refrain from requesting certain tasks from Marie. She tells him to proceed with a simpler task, and Arthur tells Marie that he would like her to tell him that she loves him. This was usually easy for Marie in the past, but she finds it difficult, and once Marie 2 realizes that she has fumbled, she pushes her out of the room. Marie then tells Marie 2 her predicament, confessing that she has completely fallen in love, which is messing with how she functions. Marie 2 reinforces this fact, telling Marie that she has run a quick search on the internet, and it is said that love truly weakens people. However, tapping into the love also helps one to get stronger. Marie shed tears as Marie 2 dropped these words of wisdom on her, and she thanked her for the help. Marie concludes that she is now friends with her counterpart, and she leaves to apologize to Arthur. Marie rushes into Arthur's room, but before she can say anything, Arthur has already apologized. Before realizing it, Marie finds herself melting away in Arthur's presence. Marie soon finds Arthur holding her, and just as the situation is about to evolve into something sweeter, the assassin from earlier barges into the room, ruining it. Marie is ultimately pissed when this happens, and she can feel the anger burning inside her. Enraged, she goes after the assassin and beats him up. Arthur ends up grabbing her by the waist, and this forces a smile out of her. Arthur sees this and rushes out of the room to try and control his emotions. He enters his room with the ultimate realization that he is in love with Marie, and he might need to start looking for ways to marry a machine. The next day, Marie is shocked when Roy calls on Marie 2, while ignoring her. The day after this, Charlotte also comes visiting, and Marie finds herself excluded from the equation while Marie 2 is involved in everything that they are doing. Marie soon realizes that Marie too is getting closer to Arthur, while she is pushed to the sidelines. Deep down, Marie starts to assume that Arthur is having a relationship with Marie too behind her back. Marie starts getting jealous of this, and anytime Arthur asks her to help with a simple task, she tells him to go to Marie too instead. Marie's jealousy starts becoming obvious when she refuses to walk Arthur to the car. She runs ahead to sit in the car to wait for Arthur. On their way to school, Arthur talks about his interest in visiting the park after school to watch the sunset. Instead of agreeing with Arthur, Marie jealously replies that it would be more convenient for Marie too to follow him. She has finished saying this when she realizes that her emotions are getting the better of her. Upon arriving at school, Marie refuses to stay around Arthur, and Noah notices this. He approaches her and demands to know what is wrong. Trapped in her own emotions, Marie has no choice but to tell Noah what she is feeling. She tells Noah that she gets angry whenever she sees someone else with Arthur, and Noah tells her that she is basically feeling the phenomenon of jealousy. Noah offers a simple solution to this, and he tells her to terminate all those who are coming close to her lover. After school, Marie stands at the entrance of the school, waiting for Arthur. The driver soon shows up, telling Marie that he has been instructed to take her home because Arthur wants to spend some time at the park. This is when Marie finally remembers what Arthur told her. She drops her bag and rushes to the park, and she manages to get to the park just when he is about to be attacked by assassins. Marie takes down the first wave, while Marie too appears from her hiding place to finish off the rest. Marie too unleashes a wave of missiles from her body to take out the assassins. Arthur is impressed by this, and he mentions that the changes made to Marie too are paying off. It finally dawns on Marie that Marie too was being upgraded by Charlotte and Roy, which is why she was excluded in the past days. Marie has no choice but to come clean and reveal that she was jealous. Arthur is surprised to hear this, but he draws Marie closer to hug her and gives her some assurance that they are stuck with each other. Some days later, the driver shows up late to pick Arthur up, and Marie believes the driver is done already. Surprisingly, Arthur doesn't order his head to be cut off or anything like that. He stepped into the vehicle peacefully, and on their way to school, Marie noticed that Arthur was not angry at all. Suddenly, the driver wishes Arthur a happy birthday, and Marie freezes up where she is because she is supposed to be shot dead for not knowing her crush's birthday. Arthur, on the other hand, is not happy to be celebrating his birthday. It is the single day when assassination attacks on his life usually grow rampant. He reveals that the best birthday he has ever had was the one his father took time out from his busy schedule to bring a birthday cake for him. Marie also remembers that she was always happy when given cake on her birthday. Because of this, she decides that she is going to bake a cake for Arthur when they return to the mansion. Upon arriving at school, Arthur's fan club is ready to bombard him with gifts, but Marie blocks everything. Arthur then tells her to return all the gifts. After Arthur leaves, the girls demand to see Marie in private, and they tell her just how much they like Arthur. Marie becomes carried away, and she confesses to the girls about her love for Arthur. Immediately, the girls find out that she is in love with Arthur. She becomes their public enemy number one, and they chase her down. Fortunately for her, she runs into Arthur, who disbanded the group immediately. Arthur then tells Marie to head home without him after school because he has some student council activities to attend to. After school, Marie rushes home to start preparations for the cake she wants to make. She is in the middle of this when Noah shows his annoying face again. It turns into chaos between the two again, and he makes sure to disrupt the entire cake process before leaving. On his way out, he runs into Marie too, who is boiling with revenge. Realizing how dangerous the robot is, he quickly vanishes from the estate. When Marie finishes the cake, it doesn't come out nice the way she wants it, but she still holds it dear. She is walking through the lobby when Marie too accidentally runs into her. However, she doesn't scold the robot, since the cake isn't something good in the first place. She concludes that she is not going to give Arthur the cake because he deserves something better than what she made. Just as she is about to dump the cake, Arthur shows up behind her. Marie changes her mind when she hears Arthur talking about how badly his day went. She tries to make him happy by presenting the cake to him, and indeed, Arthur smiles when she presents the cake to him. He then takes a bite from the cake and almost ruptures his intestine, but he commends her effort by saying the cake is good. After this, Arthur gives Marie a beautiful dress to change into, and he switches things around, becoming her butler while role-playing the boss. He does everything a maid is supposed to do, and while patting her head, an assassin shows up at the door. Without hesitation, Arthur takes him down with the high-powered taser that he has been keeping around him just in case. Another assassin shows up, and Marie tells the dude to give her a moment. The dude foolishly accepts this, and Marie runs to her to change into her maid outfit before returning to swiftly dispatch the dumb assassin. Marie then confesses her support to Arthur, telling him she will always be there to protect him, no matter what. In school the next day, one of the students tell Mary that Arthur has collapsed, and she rushes over to where Arthur is. The dude tricks her into the robot club room, and before she knows it, she is subdued and restrained by the weird dudes, who call themselves robot lovers. They talk about how amazing she is, and because of this, they are prepared to take her apart to see what makes her tick. Marie realizes that she is in grave danger, leaving her to start wondering how to get out of her situation. However, the dudes run into a bit of a problem because all of them are too shy to take off a woman's clothing. Realizing that the group is nothing but fools, Marie lies to them, telling them that she has an anti-gravity system that helps her feet, allowing her to hover. However, she suggests that they untie her from the post so she can properly show them how it works. Curious to see how impressive this high-grade tech is, they release her from the post, but her hands are still tied. Marie then makes her move and tries to escape after fooling the group, but they manage to overwhelm her once again. Just as they are about to have their way with her, Arthur shows up on the scene to rescue. Things are going well until Marie realizes that her undergarment is showing. To save face, she comes up with a dumb excuse. She pretends that she has malfunctioned and doesn't remember who Arthur is again. Arthur takes her home to inform Roy of this, shocking the dude, who wonders what type of game Marie is playing. Before Roy can drag Marie away for the usual maintenance package, Arthur tells him that he is going to handle the situation and make Marie remember him again. He drags her away and lies to her that they have a routine flirtation procedure that they follow, like holding hands and stuff like that. After doing everything he claims to be on the list, he takes Marie to the balcony, where he tells her to close her eyes. Marie assumes that he wants to kiss her until she realizes that Arthur is looking sad because he has tried everything, and she still doesn't remember him. Marie realizes that Arthur is about to fall into depression, and she quickly tells him that she has restored her girlfriend mode, which gave her access to remember him. With this, the two return to their usual awkward self, waiting for the right time to confess their love for each other. Some days later, Arthur and Marie's school is thrown into a frenzy because the school is holding a sports competition against its longtime rival, Perennial High, and the loser has to merge with the winner, thereby changing its name. The stakes for this competition are high, especially for Arthur, since the school is his father's legacy, so Marie decides she will help him win no matter what. While she is helping with preparations, a cute-looking boy from Perennial High approaches her. He introduces himself as Darrell and claims to be Arthur's best friend, which Marie finds extremely suspicious until the lowly girls from Arthur's fan club skip by and confirm it with googly eyes. Marie is still uncertain, but when Darrell casually mentions that Arthur hates green peppers, she believes him completely. She informs him that Arthur will be participating in 2 events, but before she can say anything else, he thanks her and disappears. Shortly after being rammed by a giant wrecking ball by an Arthur fan club member, Amy, Marie quickly heads over to the field to watch a dashingly handsome Arthur compete in a horse riding competition. When she arrives, she finds the fan club girls wearing cosplay horse ears, proudly announcing that they hope Arthur will mistake them for a horse and ride them. Marie pretends to hear nothing as she spots Roy, Marie too, Arthur's aunt and uncle, Carl, and Charlotte cheering loudly from the bleachers. The race starts, and Arthur jumps over the hurdles gracefully, looking incredibly cool. Marie and everyone else are practically swooning until a shady figure in the crowd fires tiny metal balls at Arthur's horse. The horse stumbles, Arthur is thrown off, and the entire crowd gasps. Marie too instantly scans the crowd and locks onto the shooter like a Terminator drone, while Arthur gets up, and with a smile, he reassures everyone that he is fine. After handing his horse over to check for injuries, Arthur heads backstage with a limp and sadly collapses on the ground with disappointment. Marie rushes over to comfort him, and he shows her the metal ball, telling her that Darrell is responsible for the sabotage. Marie's jaw drops because she thought Darrell was Arthur's beloved childhood bestie. Arthur hesitates to talk about the past, but Marie takes his hands and assures him he can tell her anything, even if she is technically made of steel. After hesitating for a while, Arthur reveals that he met Darrell in elementary school, and just like him, Darrell is also an illegitimate child. When they were young, Arthur was bullied and had no friends, but he didn't tell anyone because he didn't want to disappoint his father. One day during art class, Darryl approached him, claiming that he was also being bullied and offered to be friends. Arthur naively believes him, which is how their friendship began. But one day, before a big music performance, Arthur's music sheet goes missing, making him nervous. Darryl then offers him a drink to calm his nerves, but after going on stage, Arthur collapses in front of the piano, ruining the show. Darryl consoles Arthur, convincing him that he fainted from exhaustion, and Arthur believes him. However, one day, while rushing to give Darryl a present, Arthur learns that Darryl always hated him, and he was the mastermind behind the whole thing, which leaves him devastated. After learning the truth, Marie's expression turns dark, and she storms off to vent her anger on a tree and vows to help Arthur get revenge. To do this, she decides to take his place and participate in the final event, the piggyback battle, but faces the problem of assembling a team. Just as she is pondering this, she is shocked to hear that familiar creepy voice, Noah asking her to form a team with him. She quickly turns him down as the two head to a secluded spot to find Marie too crushing the boys from Perennial High who sabotaged Arthur's horse race. It is revealed that Noah had teamed up with Marie too to catch the culprits, which left Marie questioning the robot about her earlier resolve to mince Noah into hamburger meat. Marie then tells Noah about Arthur's feud with Darryl and her resolve to make him pay, so she forms a team with Noah and some of the guys from the school club. The lowlies from Arthur's fan club also form a team in the final face-off to keep their school name. Darryl smugly mouths off to Marie because of Arthur's injury, but she dismisses him with a cold stare, vowing to win the match. The piggyback battle begins, and the lowlies from Arthur's fan club quickly knock out a few rivals with terrifying enthusiasm. But Darryl and his teammates are strong and manage to topple nearly everyone from Kalmia High except Marie's team. Thankfully, Marie quickly takes down one of the two remaining rivals, leaving only Darryl and his team in one last battle. Seeing the situation turning bad, Darryl and his team secretly shoot Marie's team with the metal beads, making them lose balance. Before hitting the ground, Noah gives Marie one last push as she single-handedly takes down Darryl and his pack of bullies. Seeing the look on her face, Darryl panics as he realizes she may have uncovered his deceit, so he attempts one last time to deceive her. But she angrily calls him a liar and dismantles his team, winning the finals. After learning that Arthur can no longer trust people, Darryl is pleased and thinks to himself that Arthur would never make a good successor. Marie attempts to punch him, but Arthur beats her to it, leaving the whole crowd shocked because everyone was under the impression that they were best friends. Because of this one punch, the school finally realized that Arthur and Darryl were never really friends. Arthur firmly announces that Darryl has been cheating, and Marie too brings out the culprits to confess. Darryl tries to deny it, but is shocked when Arthur provides evidence that dates all the way back to their elementary school days. For the very first time, Arthur fights against the bullies, and Darryl almost craps his pants as he realizes the weak little Arthur from the past was gone, and this new one was not to be messed with. After threatening Darryl, Arthur checks in on Marie, and she expresses her happiness at his newfound strength to fight back. But Arthur sweetly tells her that his strength comes from her. Marie secretly blushes inside as Arthur thanks her for always standing by him. While the two lovebirds stare at each other, Marie too drags Darryl off for some good old hamburger mincing. Soon after, Arthur thanks his classmates and fan club members for helping him win the competition. And for the very first time in a long time, he smiles genuinely at them, leaving the girls swooning. Days after the school saga, Roy is surprised to see Arthur playing the piano because it has been a while since he last played. Marie, who is working on the garden with Marie too, is also surprised by this new development as the robot reveals that Arthur's music shows that his mental state is lively. After semester exams, everyone buzzes about summer vacation, except Marie, who failed miserably. The teacher tells her she must take a makeup exam in 2 days. Later, Arthur snatches her paper and, like a certified dum-dum, concludes that the robot geeks must have wiped out her academic ability. He's worried, since the makeup exams are hard and anyone who fails is expelled on the spot. Arthur suggests asking Roy to re-download her academic data, but she explains it would take a week to install. Stuck in a dilemma, Arthur decides to tutor her and asks Marie to meet him in the library for a study session. On her way to the library, Marie runs into Noah and is stunned to learn he already knows about her predicament thanks to the loud-mouthed teacher. He then offers to help her study, but to his shock, she grabs him by the collar and demands he reveal his assassin traps. She assumes he must have set something up for Arthur in the library. Noah insists he has no plans against Arthur, though he admits that Marie getting expelled would make taking Arthur out easier. While they're bickering, Arthur and a few students arrive, gasping because it looks like Marie is undressing Noah. Marie calmly says she was just showing him a stain, and Arthur immediately believes her. Noah then asks to join the tutoring session, and although annoyed, Arthur reluctantly agrees. To everyone's surprise, Noah casually walks off holding Marie's shoulders. Inside the library, Arthur starts teaching Marie, but she can't concentrate due to their close proximity. As if noticing her anxiety, Noah offers to show her the exam pointers he put together, but to her shock, he pulls out the file about her past. Noah jokingly apologizes, even though Marie knows he is just teasing her. She notices Arthur looking at them suspiciously, and quickly tells him that Noah was just goofing around. Noah continues to tease her by giving Arthur a sheet of paper. However, before he can take it, Marie springs into ninja action, grabbing it, but to her surprise, it is only a blank sheet, leaving her pissed. Soon after, Noah pops out and invites Marie to check out a book. She hesitates, but decides to go since he might actually help her pass the exam. As she tries to leave, Arthur suddenly pins her against a shelf as if trying to say something, but his nerves fail him and he lets her go. While Marie heads off to return some books, Arthur thanks Noah for helping her study. Feeling smug, Noah claims he knows more about Marie than anyone. Arthur fumes, insisting it's impossible since he's always with her. Noah leans in and offers to reveal Marie's secrets, which only makes Arthur angrier. Marie returns to find the two locked in a death stare. She tries to break the tension but trips, and before she hits the ground, both Noah and Arthur grab her by the arm. Later that night, Roy and Marie too grill Marie, forcing her to study. However, after the exams, Marie ends up with a measly D and rushes out of the office, happy because she gets to stay with Arthur. Arthur also meets her halfway, eager to know if she passed. He is relieved when she tells him the good news, and he embraces her, wishing he were the one who helped her study. Marie then realizes that Arthur is jealous of Noah. After a brief hug, Arthur excitedly tells Marie about his island holiday getaway. The next week, Arthur and the gang head to an island for summer vacation with his Aunt Charlotte and her husband Carl. Noah tags along and tells Marie she'll never shake him off. He also invites Arthur's fan club to keep things lively. Roy warns Marie to stay alert for danger. Arthur, meanwhile, is annoyed when he sees Isabel, Charlotte and Carl's daughter sprinting toward him, but Carl whisks her back to their side of the island before she can reach them. Meanwhile, Maynard is on the island plotting his usual mischief. He activates a giant robot and sends it after Arthur. Roy is shocked when he sees it and remembers it was developed at the same time as Marie 2. He wonders why the robot is even there, and Marie 2 explains that Maynard is behind it. Maynard smugly admits he stole it from the company, and Roy realizes the company's security must be embarrassingly weak if someone like Maynard can walk out with a giant robot. The robot rampages through the forest toward Arthur and Marie. On Roy's command, Marie 2 rockets into the air, grabs the robot, spins it several times, and slams it into the ground. On Roy's instruction, Marie grabs Arthur and runs while the robot gets back up. The robot soon recovers and hits Marie 2, damaging its rocket propulsion, but it keeps fighting. Meanwhile, Arthur and Marie run into a cave, and Marie 2 brings down the giant robot at the entrance. They exit through another opening just before the cave collapses, cutting off the way back to the beach. The duo blushes as they realize they are alone. Marie's stomach growls, and Arthur, hearing it, convinces himself it is a low-energy signal. Marie tells him they need to search for food, but Arthur proudly pulls out a bunch of batteries for her to recharge. Marie sucks on her batteries as she climbs a coconut tree to feed Arthur. However, Arthur is worried with no way to open it, but to his surprise, Marie swiftly uses her hand to slash it open. They then head into the forest to search for fruits and vegetables, and Marie picks a wild veggie that reminds her of her happy life with her parents. Everything was fine when they were both alive, but after Marie's father died in an accident, her mother quickly found another man and rarely came home. Neglected, Marie survived by eating whatever trash she could find. She shows Arthur the grass, saying she used to pick it in the old days. Arthur questions her, and she quickly claims she was a lawn mower, hoping he stops prying. Arthur quietly wonders if Marie comes with a manual, wanting to know more about her. Marie eventually wanders toward the sea, and Arthur hurries after her, assuming she wants to catch fish for him. He tells her not to worry, reminding her that water is dangerous for robots. In truth, Marie only went there while thinking about her life with him, and she assures him that she is fine as long as her head stays dry. As if on cue, it begins to rain, and Arthur uses his shirt to shield her as they rush to take shelter. The cramped space forces them close, leaving Marie flustered. Then Arthur suddenly hugs her, bare-chested, and apologizes for ruining their vacation, confessing he never actually invited his aunt and uncle. Marie steps back and tells him it is not his fault. He then admits he loves her, and though she claims robots cannot understand love, Marie longs to tell him the truth. They almost lock lips in the heat of the moment, but Marie too interrupts them. Like a drone, Marie too carries them back to rejoin the others, and everyone is relieved to see Arthur safe, except Maynard, who sulks like a sore loser. Noah blames the robot's failure on its pathetic operator. Arthur, on the other hand, is simply happy they can head home, while Marie quietly wishes they could stay on the island a little longer. After summer vacation ends, the fireworks fall festival approaches, and students eagerly anticipate it. Marie asks if Arthur will attend, but he can't because of student council duties. He secretly wishes he could watch the fireworks with her, yet after her near confession over summer, he feels conflicted. Watching him leave, she also wishes they could enjoy the fireworks together. Seeing the fan club girls laughing happily makes her feel lonely, since she has no other friends. While the fan club girls imagine scenes of Arthur from their summer vacay, Marie hides nearby, wishing she could enjoy the festival with them. She decides to be brave and try to befriend them. She even brings burnt cookies as an offering. In her mind, she imagines walking up to them, offering the cookies, and the girls happily accepting her. But after this perfect daydream, Marie loses confidence and starts practicing again. Suddenly, Noah appears and offers to be her friend. He grabs one of her burnt cookies, almost gags, and says they're stronger than poison. He warns her that trying to befriend the fan club girls won't work because they're spoiled rich kids and she won't fit in. But Marie tells him she's already practicing her rich girl mode. Marie later approaches the fan club girls in her rich girl outfit and reintroduces herself as a rich debutante. She even claims her hobbies include lifting horses and pianos. When she notices their plain tea, Marie quickly adds protein powder. The girls get angry, call her an imposter, and kick her out. Noah, who expected this, waits calmly for her. He asks if she's ready to give up, but Marie refuses. Next, she writes an apology letter to the club president, Bridget. Marie tells Noah she placed the letter inside Bridget's locker along with a small gift. When Bridget finds the letter, Marie and Noah hide and watch. The fan club girls get excited, thinking it's a love letter, but Bridget starts sneezing wildly when she opens it. Marie's gift is a 4-leaf clover, and Bridget is extremely allergic to them. She explodes with anger, convinced Marie is making fun of her. Later that day, their homeroom teacher is furious because someone had ruined her favorite vase. She announces that the culprit must stay after class to clean, and no one may leave until someone confesses. This means the whole class might miss the fireworks, shocking everyone. Noah plans to take the blame even though he's innocent, but before he can speak, Marie beats him to it. After class, Noah asks if she has given up on making friends, and Marie says yes. She only wanted friends to watch the fireworks with, and since she failed, she didn't want to ruin the night for everyone else. Meanwhile, the real culprits hang outside the classroom, bragging and calling Marie a fool for taking the blame. Noah catches them, and the boys threaten him to stay quiet. The guy with the nose job lunges at Noah, but Noah dodges and punches him, saying it's self-defense. After knocking him down, Noah coldly warns them never to bully Marie again. Later, the bullies return to class, cleaning and confessing their crime in a dramatic, song-like manner. Later, as the students gather for the fireworks, Marie prepares to try making friends again. Noah gives her a few tips and gently pushes her forward. Marie decides to be herself, flinging the fake rich girl wig. She asks the fan club girls if they'd like to be friends, but Bridget bluntly refuses. She says they can never be friends, which hurts Marie, though she hides it. Then Bridget explains she respects Marie's feelings for Arthur. Even if they can't be friends, they can still watch the fireworks together as love rivals. Marie is touched, and Bridget properly introduces herself. The other girls tell Marie that they knew she lied about breaking the vase and have explained it to the teacher. Marie is deeply moved but tries to stay calm. She runs to thank Noah, but when she tries to head back, she trips. Noah reaches out to catch her, but Arthur appears and catches her first. He decides to watch the show after all and asks if he can join them. Bridget happily agrees while imagining dramatic scenes with him. The fireworks begin amidst cheers from the students. Marie is happy as she quietly watches Arthur, while Noah, stunned by her beauty, watches her from afar until two girls interrupt him, and he quickly slips away. Later that night, Roy tells Marie he has erased all memories of her past. He hands her the last few items and tells her to look at them one final time. After he leaves, she remembers how fun the fireworks were. Marie too was once her only friend, but now she also has Bridget and the others, and that makes her happy. She goes to bed, but one article slips out the window and lands right in front of Arthur. He picks it up, shocked. The next morning, while serving breakfast, Marie tells Marie too about the fireworks. Meanwhile, Arthur panics as he searches for information on Marie, but finds nothing. Every link from the article he picked up leads to a different person. His strange behavior makes Roy suspicious that Arthur might know Marie's secret. Roy, Marie, and Marie too discuss it, but conclude he probably hasn't figured anything out, since he never noticed before. After brainstorming, Roy says they're overthinking it, and they decide to ignore the problem. Arthur decides to investigate on his own. Since Marie is human, he carries a knife just in case, and all day, he secretly follows her. He sees her catching bees effortlessly and lifting heavy boxes, making him doubt she's human. While carrying boxes, she meets the bodyguards she helped earlier and politely asks them to look after Arthur. Later, Arthur is stunned to see her chugging from a keg of oil with Marie too. Not realizing hers is just water, he becomes convinced she's actually a robot and that someone planted the article. Later, while he plays the piano, Arthur thanks Marie for entering his life, saying he can play again because of her. He adds that he trusts her because robots can't lie. Marie's face lights up with pure happiness, and when Arthur turns around, he freezes because her smile is too human. He grabs her arm and feels a faint pulse, which is enough to confirm it. Marie is human. Arthur's expression turns dark as he pulls out a knife. For a moment, it looks like he might hurt her, but instead, he throws it past her, hitting an assassin behind her. After the assassin collapses, Arthur falls to the floor, overwhelmed. Marie may be human, but she has helped him countless times and always stayed by his side. He accepts her fully and asks her for a hug. Still clueless, Marie hugs him, thinking he's unwell. Arthur listens to her heartbeat, and everything he feels for her finally makes sense. Later, Arthur keeps watching Marie from the shadows, but now he's certain she means him no harm. Soon, he overhears Marie and Roy panicking about the missing article. He feels sad when he learns that Roy plans to send Marie far away if her identity is exposed. Marie quietly accepts this fate, which surprises Arthur. She says she doesn't want to hurt him with lies like Darryl, so she will leave if Arthur ever discovers the truth. Roy also says he wants to confess everything to Arthur and apologize for betraying him. Arthur quickly slips away when he hears Marie too approaching. Marie too hands them the missing article, saying it was in the garden. Marie and Roy breathe a huge sigh of relief. Arthur had left it there on purpose because he didn't want to lose Marie. He loves her too much and decides to protect her secret and keep the farce going. The following day, Arthur feels terrible as he reviews all the tasks he had given Marie when he still treated her like a robot. Guilt weighs on him, and he even wonders if he could be arrested for breaking human labor laws and exploiting her. Lost in thought, he jumps from his seat when Marie enters to greet him. His heart races when he sees her, and when he turns, he notices Marie too and Roy standing behind her. Arthur tries to act normal so that they don't catch on. Marie notices his strange behavior and asks if he is still unwell. Her closeness makes him jump again, and he begins pacing around the room in an awkward panic. Arthur decides to avoid Marie for the rest of the day. He tells her that he stayed up all night and is simply tired. Wanting to cheer him up, Marie becomes even more attentive. She invites him to sit on her lap, but he quickly refuses. The memory of how he used to rest on her lap makes him feel worse. Arthur forces himself to calm down and leaves the room, telling her he is not in the mood. Later, Arthur tries to study, but Marie returns and offers to feed him her burnt cakes. When she holds his face to feed him like a baby, Arthur becomes flustered. It feels far too intimate, like something couples would do. He steps out and tells her to find something else to do. Marie announces she will enter cleaning mode, and Arthur finally feels relieved. The moment he walks away happy, Marie springs into action, taking out several assassins who were trying to replace Arthur's aides. After the last assassin falls, a knife flies toward Arthur. Marie spins him into her arms and catches the knife just in time. Arthur is mesmerized by how skilled she looks. Marie tries to carry him to his room, but he almost explodes from embarrassment and shouts for her to put him down. Marie apologizes, thinking she has upset him the entire day. Arthur feels terrible and, while trying to comfort her, tells her she can do whatever she wants to him. Realizing what he said, Arthur immediately freezes. A little later, Marie brings him to the garden and tells him to relax. She explains that it is her favorite place because she can look at the home she shares with her friends. Arthur is touched that she sees his house as her home, even though she is only there to work. The next day, Arthur heads out to inspect an amusement park with Marie and the others. He rides in the car with Roy and Marie, while Marie too follows beside them in her motor form. They soon arrive at Destiny Park, where Carl and Charlotte welcome them warmly. To Arthur's surprise, their troublesome daughter, Isabel, is also there. She introduces herself as Arthur's fiancée, which shocks Marie. Arthur quickly denies it and explains that she is actually Maynard's fiancée. Isabel snaps at him, insisting she likes and must marry him. After arguing with the brat, Arthur tries to explain himself to Marie. Isabel rushes to inspect Marie, and Roy lets her know that Marie is a robot. Isabel refuses to believe it and claims that her womanly intuition proves Marie is human. Arthur grows annoyed, not wanting her to ruin his love life, shouts at her to stop. Moments later, Marie and Isabel change into Halloween costumes. Arthur finds Marie so cute that he cannot help but swoon. When they pass through the metal detector, he panics, unsure how Marie will handle it. Thankfully, she walks through with Marie too, and Roy explains to the staff that they are robots. Isabel, still suspicious, tells Marie to pull up a map of the park and guide them to the roller coaster. Marie panics, not knowing how to handle the situation. As Isabel begins a tantrum, Marie suddenly finds a map at her feet. Arthur had pushed it toward her without being noticed. Meanwhile, Marie too becomes an instant attraction for the children in the park. Arthur decides to go with Marie and Isabel and tells Roy to let Marie too continue playing with the kids. They reach the roller coaster and Isabel skips the line by jumping into a seat. Arthur and Marie join her and go on several rides. Carl, Charlotte and Roy watch as Marie too shoots into the sky with laughing children in her arms. Carl suggests mass-producing Marie too for the park and asks Roy if there is any way to entertain more kids. Roy brings out the giant mecha from their island trip to do the job. A few hours later, Arthur, Marie and Isabel sit to rest. Arthur wants Marie to relax, but Isabel wants more rides. Not wanting anyone to know he is doing it for Marie's sake, he tells Isabel that he is the one who wants to rest. Isabel soon rushes off to take pictures, and Arthur checks on Marie. Marie shoves a battery into her mouth, but Arthur wants her to drink something instead. He does not know how to help her, so he decides to go to the restroom. Before leaving, he tells her to throw away his remaining drink. As soon as he leaves, Marie takes the drink and sips from it. She becomes happy and wonders if it counts as an indirect kiss. Her happiness ends when Isabel appears and accuses her of deceiving Arthur. She promises to keep Marie's secret, but makes her promise to help her win Arthur's heart. When Arthur returns, Marie quickly pushes the two of them into doing a bunch of couple activities. Arthur is confused and cannot understand why Marie is acting so strangely. Her blank expression makes it even harder for him to read her. Meanwhile, Marie feels miserable watching them get along. She thinks Arthur and Isabel's backgrounds match perfectly. She decides to give up her romantic feelings and remain only his protector. Suddenly, Isabel runs off in tears because of something Arthur said. Arthur tells Marie he will no longer tolerate Isabel's drama. Marie loses her cool when she learns he turned Isabel down harshly. She then rushes after Isabel into the forest and saves her just before she runs off a cliff. Isabel thanks her and decides to give up on Arthur. Marie gently tells her not to give up easily and gives her a bunch of advice. Isabel is moved because, despite her bratty behavior, Marie treats her with patience. The girls try to head back, but the cliff caves in, sending them crashing downward. Arthur races toward the site, shouting their names. Fortunately, Marie too arrives just in time and rescues them with her rocket function. After returning safely, Marie tells Isabel to apologize to Arthur, but Arthur is tired of Isabel's antics and demands she admit the truth. Arthur reveals that he has long known she is pretending and that she truly likes Maynard. When they were younger, Isabel only stayed close to Maynard, but one day she suddenly started pestering Arthur. Isabel finally admits she has always loved Maynard. She explains that she was naughty as a child, so everyone avoided her except Maynard. Everything changed when Arthur appeared, and Maynard focused all his attention on him instead. Isabel thought she could regain his attention by getting close to Arthur. Meanwhile, Maynard is in his castle sneezing while playing cards with Noah. He angrily complains about the useless assassins who keep failing to terminate Arthur. Shortly after confessing, Isabel apologizes to Arthur and Marie for being a nuisance. That evening, as everyone leaves the amusement park, Marie worries about Isabel knowing her secret. Isabel, who has no intention of telling anyone, whispers that robots do not steal other people's drinks. Moments later, Arthur and Marie watch Isabel flying through the sky with Marie too. Later that night, the worst happens when Arthur accidentally barges in on Marie while she is taking her bath. After the accidental encounter between Arthur and Marie in the bathroom, Marie tries to think of a reasonable excuse for why she was using his bath. However, she quickly realizes that the real problem is that robots are not supposed to bathe at all. This makes Marie panic because she has clearly revealed that she is human. At the same time, Arthur panics as well, realizing that he has just violated a girl's dignity. Arthur immediately tries to leave the bathroom, but he trips in his rush. Marie instinctively moves to help him, causing the two of them to fall onto each other. They end up in a compromising position, but neither of them moves. Before either of them can react, a noisy janitor arrives, but does not notice them and simply goes about his cleaning. After finishing his work, the janitor turns off the lights and locks the door before leaving. Arthur and Marie hurriedly bang on the door, but the janitor has his headset on, with loud music drowning out their voices. Realizing their situation, both of them start to panic. Marie considers breaking down the door, but she holds herself back, knowing that Roy would scold her if she did. Arthur tells her not to panic and reassures her that someone will eventually find them in the morning. Even so, Arthur and Marie cannot calm down, especially since they are trapped in the bathroom while being half-dressed. Although Arthur feels stirred deep down, he forces himself to stay calm. He lifts Marie and gently places her into the warm bath, then sits beside the tub. Arthur promises not to peek and tells her to think of him as a rock. Touched by his words, Marie grabs Arthur and urges him to get in as well. As they pull at each other, Arthur accidentally reveals that he knows she is human. The moment he lets go, Marie freezes as his words sink in. She tries to deny it, searching for other explanations, but soon realizes that Arthur has discovered the truth. While Marie watches him closely, Arthur is panicking inside. He wonders how they skipped the normal dating process, straight into something so intimate. Marie soon calls his name, snapping him out of his thoughts. With a serious expression he has never seen before, she asks when he found out she was human. Feeling pressured, Arthur admits that he became certain after the fireworks show. Hearing this, Marie assumes that he must have seen the article about her past. She cautiously tries to confirm it, but Arthur misunderstands her question. He thinks she is asking whether he saw her body during their fall earlier. He immediately denies it, flustered and defensive. Marie refuses to accept his answer, and after hesitating, Arthur decides to be honest and admits that he saw it. Neither of them realizes that they are talking about completely different things. Marie feels crushed by guilt for lying to Arthur. Remembering how Darryl once betrayed him only makes it worse. Unable to hold it in, she asks Arthur how he truly feels about her. Arthur hesitates and notices that her hands are shaking. Still caught in his misunderstanding, he believes she is upset because he saw her body earlier. Feeling ashamed, he gently pats her head and tells her she is a wonderful girl who is far too good for him. His kindness only deepens Marie's guilt, making her feel unworthy of his trust. She then stands up abruptly, saying she needs to tell him something. Arthur assumes she is about to confess her feelings, leaving him flustered. Marie struggles with her thoughts and quietly decides to leave the house after telling him the truth. Meanwhile, Arthur, still lost in his own assumptions, believes that Marie wants to confess, so he decides to confess first. After a brief moment, both of them try to talk at the same time. Suddenly, Arthur clutches his head as a sharp pain hits him. He collapses and faints, leaving Marie in complete panic. Moments later, Marie too and Roy force the bathroom door open and find both of them inside. The following morning, the doctor informs them that Arthur has been poisoned. Roy recalls seeing a small dart stuck in Arthur's back the previous day. The doctor explains that the poison's effect was delayed because Arthur's body has a natural resistance to toxins. Unfortunately, there is no antidote yet, though the doctor promises to continue searching for one. Roy and Marie blame themselves for failing to protect Arthur. Soon after, Marie too detects a change in Arthur's condition and announces that he is regaining consciousness. Arthur wakes up moments later, But when Marie speaks to him, they are met with a shocking realization. Arthur has lost his memories and has no recollection of his time with Marie. Elsewhere, Maynard learns that Arthur has lost his memory and is pleased, believing this secures his position as heir. However, his mood quickly sours when he learns that Arthur only forgot about robot Marie. Enraged, Maynard lashes out at the assassin responsible. The assassin, who had been planted as one of Arthur's aides, reports that he will wait for another chance to finish Arthur. The moment the call ends, Marie too appears and tackles him to the ground. Back in the manor, Roy explains to Marie that the doctor believes only Arthur's most important memories were affected. While they talk, Marie too drags the captured assassin into the kitchen for interrogation. Roy demands the antidote, but the assassin claims he only received the poison dart from Maynard. Afterwards, Marie reveals that Arthur already knows she is human, leaving Roy and Marie too stunned. Roy panics briefly, then calms himself, saying that the memory loss might actually be a good thing. He sternly warns Marie not to do anything that could trigger Arthur's memories. Marie protests, but Roy reminds her of their agreement, which states that if Arthur ever discovered her secret, she would have to disappear. He adds that both of them could lose their jobs if Arthur regains his memories. Roy gently tells her that the only way she can stay with Arthur forever is if he never remembers her. Though the idea pains her, Marie quietly considers it. Over the next few days, Arthur returns to his old oblivious self, spending his time with robot Marie like before. During one of their usual lap resting sessions, Arthur receives a call from his friends at school asking about his health. Now the suspicious old Arthur hangs up on them. He doesn't remember the past 6 months or how he even became friends with them. Marie feels her heart sink as she sees the lonely and cautious Arthur return. Arthur suddenly recalls that one of the callers, Toby, asked him to greet Marie. Curious, Arthur asks how people from his school know about her. Remembering Roy's warning, Marie brushes it off and Arthur does not pursue it further. He pulls out a clover from his pocket, and though he doesn't remember who gave it to him, he believes it must be important. Marie is surprised, as the clover is from her and she didn't know he still had it. Even without his memories, Arthur says he feels as if he has forgotten something precious. Hearing him talk about his forgotten memories, Marie realizes that Arthur has lost the moments that made him happy. The old Arthur was unhappy and lonely, but after meeting her, he became happy. Marie doesn't want him to miss out on all his precious memories, and deep down, she scolds herself for listening to Roy. While pondering all these, Marie started tearing up, resolving to help Arthur get back his memory. Arthur is stunned to see a robot crying, but before he can say anything, she grabs him and races out of the house. Outside, Marie confesses that they have known each other for 6 months and attend the same school. Throughout the day, she takes him to places they visited together, and reminds him of shared memories like sports events and the fireworks show. Even so, Arthur remembers nothing. She finally takes him to where she first gave him the clover, but his memories do not return. Seeing her sadness, Arthur tells her that he does not mind losing his memories as long as she stays with him. Marie refuses to accept this and promises to restore everything he lost. That night, after everyone goes to bed, Marie quietly leaves the manor for one final mission. Roy watches from the window, hoping she does not do anything reckless. The next day, as Maynard gathers a new batch of assassins to eliminate Arthur, it is revealed that Marie has infiltrated Maynard's manor. Standing among the recruits, Marie silently vows to find the antidote and restore Arthur's memories. After Maynard's unhinged speech to his assassins, he sends undercover Marie to deliver a package to his study. She initially heads the wrong way, forcing him to redirect her. Though she is well disguised, Maynard senses something oddly familiar about her, but Noah interrupts before he can question it further. Meanwhile, Marie searches the manor for the antidote and quickly loses her way. Noah finds her in a passageway and confronts her. Apparently, beyond being an assassin, he is also tasked with Maynard's protection. When he questions her, Marie reveals her plan to steal the antidote and immediately attacks him. Noah effortlessly dodges her strikes, and when she tries to flee, he stops her by claiming that the antidote is in the basement. Marie rushes to the basement, only to encounter Maynard's pet crocodiles. Amused, Noah sends her next to the library, which also leads nowhere. After several more false leads, Marie realizes he has been toying with her, so she confronts him in anger, but Noah easily subdues her. Noah expresses his pleasure about Arthur's amnesia and then proceeds to spew some soapy speech, causing Marie to get emotional. Hearing all his nonsense, Marie pours out her mind and how she feels about Arthur. before breaking free from Noah's grip. Watching her leave so decisively, Noah realizes his feelings for Marie and wishes she could never return to Arthur. After running around in circles for a while, Marie realizes the manor is like a maze. Just before she enters another room, Noah stops her, telling her not to go there. However, she ignores him, bursting right in despite his warnings. Marie is left in utter shock to see a room solely dedicated to planning Arthur's assassination. Seeing all the crazy stuff inside makes her wonder if Maynard actually has a crush on Arthur. Unfortunately, entering the room triggers an alarm, and Maynard soon catches them inside. Despite that, Marie is unfazed and demands the antidote from Maynard. Maynard smugly informs her that he only purchased the poison, leaving her in tears. Seeing Marie cry makes Noah sad, so he hands her an antidote that he prepared ahead of time. Marie is happy, and as she thanks him, Noah is also happy. Apparently, he likes the cheerful Marie, who is head over heels for Arthur. Maynard, on the other hand, orders his goons to stop Marie from leaving. Marie angrily swoops in, kicking him out of the way, but Maynard refuses to back down. Just when he tries to stop Marie, Isabel suddenly jumps out of the package Marie was trying to deliver to Maynard's study earlier. She pounces on Maynard, scolding him for being an idiot, leaving everyone stunned. Marie, seeing a confused Noah, explains that she brought Isabel in to help her navigate through the manor. After throwing a tantrum, Isabel finally confesses her feelings to Maynard before punching him again. While everyone is distracted, another assassin tries to grab the antidote. Thankfully, Noah steps in just in time to stop him. He tells her to leave while he handles things in the manor, and before leaving, Marie promises to return the favor. Seeing their exchange, Isabel finally figures out the love triangle between Noah, Marie, and Arthur. After Marie leaves, Noah jumps into action, fighting off Maynard's goons to buy her time to escape. But somehow, the patched-up giant robot blocks her way out. Fortunately, Marie too appears at the nick of time, tackling the robot while Marie happily escapes the manor. Once she reaches Arthur's manor, Marie informs Roy of her success. Although he doesn't want Arthur to regain his memories, Roy does not stop her from giving Arthur the antidote. He knows that helping Arthur regain his memories might mean that Marie has to disappear, yet he believes that Marie will make the right choice in order to make Arthur happy. Marie too soon returns from her conquest with a souvenir, and Marie rushes to the garden to see Arthur. Watching her leave, Marie too feels lonely and wonders if they are making the right call. Roy also feels like they might end up lonely because he has gotten used to Marie and Arthur's new relationship. Moments later, Marie arrives at the garden, telling Arthur to quickly drink the antidote, but he refuses to accept it. He fears that Marie might disappear if he regains his memories, so Arthur lets her know that he likes things just as they are. Marie, refusing to accept his decision, pleads with him to take it. She explains that he was just starting to see the good in humanity, but without his memories, he has been plunged again into a dark abyss of doubt and fear. Even after all her pleading, Arthur still refuses to take it, so Marie drinks the antidote and forces it into his mouth with a kiss, leaving him completely speechless. After force-feeding him the antidote, she proceeds to reveal her true identity to him. Marie then bids him farewell, promising never to appear before him again. Right after Marie leaves, Arthur suddenly regains his memories, and he reverts back to the moment he was locked in the bathroom with Marie. While trying to figure out what happened, Arthur recalls Marie's goodbye speech and quickly stops her from leaving. He blurts out his feelings, pleading with her not to leave him. Marie is happy realizing that Arthur has regained all his memories. Despite that, she still leaves, believing that she is a terrible person for deceiving him. Arthur, refusing to let her go, chases after her, professing his undying love for her. Moments later, he catches up with her at the door while still rambling on about his feelings for her. Marie stops right at the door, listening to his clingy speech as he gradually approaches her. While confessing his feelings, Arthur reminisces about their past, and his emotional speech makes Marie cry. Finally getting close to her, Arthur embraces Marie, vowing never to let her go. As time went by, Marie and Arthur's relationship reached the point of getting married. They throw a lavish party to celebrate with their friends, and even Maynard is not left out. Surprisingly, Arthur hands the Zeitz ring to Maynard, ultimately bestowing upon him the position of heir. Arthur explains that he has found someone he loves, so fighting for the position means nothing to him since he only fought for it to get his father's love. Trying to save his humongous ego, Maynard snaps at him, saying he would have eventually won the position by his own strength. Maynard's nemesis, Isabel, soon interrupts them, scolding Maynard for being a brat. Just before the ceremony begins, Arthur informs Roy that he wants to rest in the waiting room. Suddenly, Noah arrives at the manor, interrupting Isabel and Maynard. He reveals that the assassin world is out to get him because of what happened at Maynard's manor during Marie's escape. Despite running for his life, Maynard is just happy that Marie has found her happiness. As the ceremony time approaches, Marie, carrying Arthur in her arms, jumps down gracefully from the second floor wearing her wedding gown. Everyone happily cheers for them as they make their surprising entrance. Arthur is so happy when he sees his father in attendance, and his father happily blesses Marie and Arthur's union. Amidst cheers from their loved ones and friends, Marie and Arthur confess their love again, after which they sweetly lock lips with each other. Despite getting married to Arthur, Marie never gave up her uniform and continued to protect him. Since Arthur and Marie didn't seem to mind, Maynard never stopped sending assassins. Thanks for watching till the end, and comment Marie is cool.